I think they stand for office. I think that's what I'm standing for office. I heard John talk about young conservatives. I hope you consider old conservatives too. I don't want to rehash everything you said, John. I just came near the end of it. But some of the things I tried to do when I was in Albany, myself and the Democratic senator, we had a lawsuit against Shelley Silver, Joe Bruno, and Governor Pataki, the way things are run up in Albany. Because right now, the leaders have extraordinary power. What they do, everybody gets the same salary, $79,000 a year. But in addition to that, and I think Albany is the only place this happens, it shows that doesn't happen in Congress, you get extra money for being a chairman of a committee. You know, it ranges anywhere from 9,000 to 35,000. Now that obviously is gonna, the guy who makes that decision what committee you stand on is the leader. Now in the assembly, everybody, this is how crazy Albany is. In the assembly, every minority member, because it's only what, 42, Nancy? There's 42, I think there's like 52 committees. So every single minority is a ranker on a committee. That's the top minority person. The least you get is 9,000. The most you get, I think, is 20,000. Something like that. But again, that's dependent upon the leader. Now, if you're a chairman, it goes anywhere from 12,000 to 30, like I said earlier, 35,000. So that's extra money while you're in Albany, but that also improves your pension. That's going to increase your pension. And the only way you get that is from the leader. Now, in the assembly, there's something like 108 assembly folks in the Democrats. They can give out 51 leadership positions. So they are really dependent upon the good graces of Shelley Silver. The same with your staff allowance. Everybody doesn't get the same staff allowance. It varies. So if you're on good with Shelley, you're going to get a lot. If you're not good with Shelley, you're not going to get a lot. And by the same way, to be perfectly honest, it works that way with minority colleagues too. Now comes the memoritis. Shelley determines who gets the bulk memoritis. And that was part of our lawsuit, to do away with all that stuff at the level, but we really did the lawsuit at a bad time. The judges, Judge K, were trying for a raise. And so it just started. So the Supreme Court, I'm not a lawyer, but the way it works, the Supreme Court is a one-judge panel, one-judge person. And she gave us, she sided with us on 4 of the things we were suing on. Now he went to the appellate division. Now Judge K was really pushing for the raise. And we lost 5-0. And then when it went to the Court of Appeal, and believe me, we had good constitutional ground. We lost 9, I think it was 7-0. So that's our bad support.
About 3 minutes, so we can move to questions.
Excuse me?
I said, can we move to questions? 3-minute opening.
Oh, sure. Let's go to questions.
I feel like such a bad guy.
No. Do we have any questions? Who's your phone? A call from Ulster Company Manufacturing Hospital. Did you?
I think you might have.
So.
Hi, my name is Lorraine Marquez. We all know how inflated government is, not only in the state of New York, but nationwide. One of the largest expenditures in that are the unions. The unions have way too much power. What can we do to reel that in? It's not only in government, but it's also in school systems as well, too.
Could you just,
Well, as far as the unions go, I can remember when I was growing up, if somebody belonged to a union, that it was their choice to belong to that union and pay their union dues. Now it's the responsibility of the taxpayer to support the union. That's all part of my tax dollar and everything. I'm now responsible for the pensions, for the health benefits and everything. Nobody wants to take anything at all back. I used to work in civil service in the state of New Jersey, so I know what's going on. I know full well what's going on, and I definitely applaud Governor Christie for what he's doing there, for pulling the plug. But something's got to give. The unions are running the state. The unions are running the country.
They only run it to the extent that they're allowed to run. But can you give me like a more concrete example? Like for instance.
Okay, well, such as, for example, how is a secretary going to be protected with a union? Usually, a union should be there to protect our firefighters, our EMS, our police officers, sheriff's department and whatnot, people that are, DPW workers, especially too, they can get a needle stick when they're picking up the garbage or whatever. But as far as the secretary goes, that was one thing I could never understand when I was in New Jersey. Why does the secretary need to belong to the union? Am I going to get hurt by my pencil eraser?
No, but I think if you're free to form a union, and to join a union, and it gets recognized, that's it. I mean,
but what it is
I don't think there's anything inherently illegal about a union.
What is happening though is that now you are looking at the private sector and everything. The private sector versus union.
Well,
union salaries are practically double of what they are in the private sector. The bigger the unions, the bigger the government, the more it's going to cost us, the more we're going to start to look like Greece.
Well, there's no question on the state. Well, I was up there, I got elected in 1994. The first budget that he did, he actually cut the budget. And that second budget he did was like almost even. After that, we spent money 2, 4, 5, 6 times the rate of inflation, and along the way we're giving out raises. I think the government, as far as the government treating their unions go, the government found out it's much nicer to be Santa Claus as opposed to Scrooge. So the contract we're giving out as a result of collective bargaining.
No, I understand that, but one example that Governor Christie gave in the state of New Jersey, for an example, a civil service employee making about $40,000 a year. It contributes X amount of dollars into his or her pension. Once that they retire and everything, that pension is paying back on like a $100,000 investment. You are looking at a couple $1 million coming back in between health care, between their pension. That has a stranglehold on all of us. It has a stranglehold on all of us. If people want to belong to a pension, fine, but the responsibility of the bill should not fall on the taxpayer.
Let me just to end this with, what they just did to the employees, the public employees of New York, was outrageous. I mean, they arrived at that budget as a result of collective bargaining, and for the government to go back on its word. Now, whether they were stupid to give its word, that's certainly another argument. But the fact that they did give its word, and I think it's wrong when government gives its word to renege on it.
I'd like to know, Curran, why we should vote for you over Mr. Scartotis. Why are you running?
Well, as part of the opening thing, I thought what I tried to do became global. My first bill up there was recognition. The first bill I tried to get through. And I'm sure most of you know what the recognition is, but for those who don't know what it is, a lot of Western states have it. Usually it's 7% of the people who voted in the gubernatorial election sign a petition and just say you want to do away with compulsory seatbelt. If you sign 10% time petition, goes before the voters, completely bypasses the legislature. If the people voted up, that's the law. That's one thing I've always supported. In the last election, and this is a matter of fact, I never usually going to talk about my opponent, but since you brought him up, I guess that's a bit of a difference. I had a bill